face-off to the left of Chris Lind in the Kennedy goal. Kivy wins the draw. Romanowski's shot knocked down in front. Dave Pearson chops at it. It goes to the corner. Cam Beckman is after it there. He centers it in front, and Steve Dahl tried to get possession of it for a shot. Couldn't do it. Back comes Kennedy. Pat McGowan down the left wing. McGowan is hit by Kivy, goes after the puck, feeds it to the point. Here's Krayos with a weak shotgun goal, but you never know when you throw it on goal. A rebound, a deflection, and Dennis has to cover up.
And Pat McGowan forced out of the line change where he was watching Brett Schneider thus far, now out there against Kivy's line. But we're having Burnsville make a change. They're getting their third line away from McGowan's line. And so now we're looking at Peterson. He probably wants to change the matchup. Maybe he doesn't like what he's seen thus far, and he certainly has done that right now. We've got Granato's line coming out in the ice, and when they're out in the ice, he's been using Jason Miller, and that's what he comes right back to.
Jerry Peterson has the last change in this game, as Kennedy is the home team.
This is the line that's done it all season long for Kennedy. And Jason Miller has put their club ahead with the second goal. They're going to continue. They're going to have to continue to do it if they're going to win here tonight.
There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Okay, so my friend Buffy said, if you want Tom to go out with you, you're going to have to be, like, really cool. And I said, okay, I can do that. And then, you know, she said, you're going to have to smoke. And I said, no way.
Set to resume with a face-off deep in Burnsville territory to the right of Dennis, and the Braves come up with it, and Wernis with a burst of speed. Cut off, though, by Parrott, who's played an aggressive first period. Engford passes it to the blue line. Granato tips it into the zone, but out with it comes Joe Decker. The leading goal scorer for the Kennedy Eagles with 35 on the year. Decker clears it down into Burnsville territory. Dennis left his net, and Piddleco was open in front, just couldn't get his stick on the puck. Piddleco fighting for the puck with Frank DeMeo. Jason Miller gets it to the point. Here comes the shot. That was blocked, and now Robbie Granato goes after it. He's on the end of a line, or on the end of a shift, and goes to the bench for a line change. Wernis just gets rid of it. He'll try to get off the ice too, as they want to change up the lines for Burnsville. Long shot into the zone by Parrott. Now Kennedy will make a change. Braves just clear it down the ice. Kennedy in that change, and as the puck slid by the bench, it looked like they had about 7 players on the ice, but play continues. Up ice comes McGowan. His shot is blocked. Goes to the corner. In there quickly after it. There's Hansen to McGowan in front. Dennis makes a good save. Wallinga on the other side forechecking. This number 2 line for Kennedy has plenty of firepower. McGowan, Wallinga, and Hansen. Hansen along the near side boards, holds it for a face-off. He's quite a character, Lou. Went to a sun-tanning boutique the other day, put a big number 4 in tape on his body, tanned the rest of his body, and took the tape off. He's got a big white number 4, just like the number on his back.
And here he gives a nice setup to McGowan. McGowan all alone in front, but what a big save by Dennis. And as Burnsville brings their line off the ice, Brett Schneider, then McGowan goes off the ice. That second line of Kennedy, McGowan's, does the checking for them, and is also a very explosive line capable of scoring themselves. They've had a great year in a superb tournament, as we're looking at goaltender Tom Dennis, who kept the difference at 1 with that save on McGowan. One thing Kennedy defensemen doing the problem is getting that shot through from the point.
Here's John Manuel, a shot right from the face-off right on. Dennis made the save. He's got a 5-game winning streak in state tournament action on the line tonight. Here's a stolen puck, and this is Cam Beckman in. Beckman fires. Lynn made the stop. 2-on-1 opportunity for the Braves.
And again there, the defenseman not getting that puck through, and they've got to make sure they miss that man.
Back the other way comes Dave Stansbury of Kennedy. He's all tied up. Puck kept in at the point. Rick Weiss's shot deflects up over the glass and into the crowd. 1:58 left in the first period.
When the puck comes back to the blue line, too often there's a tendency for the defenseman to think that he's going to score a goal. When a man's coming out to block you, the key is miss the man. At least keep the puck in his zone. If you can see the net, then shoot for the center of the net. Shoot for the pads. Don't try and score from 60 feet. When you try and pick corners, you miss the net, the puck goes all around the boards. Many times you get caught in a 2-on-1 situation because everyone's going with a shot. So make sure you get the puck on the net if it's open, otherwise just put it in the corner.
Pat McGowan tried to put it on the net. It bounced off of skating in, and that's one of the big reasons Kennedy's ahead 2-1. Warnes with a nice pass over the line to Granato, feeding it in for Feinberg. And the puck went back to the goaltender. That was a Kennedy player with a shot on goal, and that might rattle Chris Lind a bit.
Well, Joe Decker was moving away with the flow, and he thought he'd catch the forechecker. He had Feinberg right on his back. He tried to lay a pass back to the defenseman. When you're passing that puck back, rather than just leaving it with a little tail, he put it too much on it, and he had a shot on net.
Wow. Feinberg tries to center it in front. The way Decker shoots, anything that he touches can go in either way. Back the other way. Here's Landreth feeding it in. A pass in front, scores! Oh. Joe Decker!
What a passing play. What a passing play that was. Landreth to Miller to Decker, and was that superb? There's nothing Dennis could do. You can't diagram it any better than that play was. Just a superb play. Kennedy pulling out to a 2-goal advantage. Look at this. Landreth going wide. Laying it down to Miller across. Wide open. Decker. Home free. Bingo. That's all she wrote. What a superb passing play by Kennedy to give him a 2-goal lead. And Joe Decker coming in. And when you give him the puck around the net from 10 to 15 feet out, normally he does not make a mistake, and he certainly didn't make one there. But the key on the play was that defenseman, Kent Landreth, setting up the initial pass.
Joe Decker gets the goal. It's his third of the tournament. From Miller and Landreth at 13:39, it's 3-1 Kennedy. They've scored 3 straight after Burnsville opened the scoring. However, that's that ominous 3-1 score that hasn't held up in the entire tournament.
With the first assist, number 10, Jason Miller.
Jason Miller gets his 8th point, his second of the night, 8th of the tournament, and what a tournament it's been for number 10 of Kennedy. 9 seconds remaining.
The fellas that are creative like Jason Miller, they've got such a feel for the game. They see the game in a slower motion than the normal player. He plays the game like he's playing it from 20 rows up. That play he made across to Decker was just a great feel for finding the open man when everybody expected him to shoot. But Kent Landreth, to start the play, made a superb move, setting Miller in free on the right.
Thought we had a clock malfunction. There wasn't 9 seconds. They've changed it now to 59, and we're counting down from there. Clock jumped a beat. Hendrickson clears it down. Brett Schneider is forechecking, and for Jason Miller, he's now tied for the tournament lead in points with John Young of Sault Ste. Paul. Kennedy with possession, and here comes Hansen scooting over the line. He is quick. Hansen with Walenga, but Hendrickson and Manley tie him up against the far boards. Reddy can't clear the zone. Puck is still loose. 12 seconds left in the first period. Up ahead it goes to Sunby. He lost it in his skates. They clear it outside the line now, and that should do it for the first period. It started with the Burnsville Braves opening the scoring, but then the Kennedy Eagles, living up to their #1 ranking, roar back, scoring 3 consecutive goals. McGowan, Miller, and Decker. And it's 3-1 after 1.
Burnsville had Kennedy somewhat rattled. They got the first goal. They were pressing him very well. They were forechecking aggressively, coming up with the plays in the offensive zone, having a couple of opportunities themselves after that initial goal. But then Kennedy was able to get a goal on a deflection, a fluke goal, no doubt about it. But that seemed to really spark them. From then on, they started to put on some pressure. They created some opportunities. Then their leader, their general, Jason Miller, takes over. He gets a goal and assist and puts up a 2-goal lead at this time.
Okay, 3-1. We've heard